Hey everyone, it is Palmer here, and it's Study Sunday, looking for plays or continuation plays from last week. These aren't necessarily low floats, but they're pretty much all under or $20 or so, or right at $20. But either way, I mean, these have been putting in some pretty good ranges on the daily chart, and if you can buy 10,000 shares of a $2 stock or whatever, or 5,000 shares of a $2 stock, why not look at buying several hundred or 1,000 shares of a 9, 10, or 12, $15 stock? Okay, as long as it's moving, 20, 30, 50, 80 cents during the day. I mean, the whole point of what we're doing here is to look to take out chunks of the trend during the day. So some of these larger cap, slightly larger price stocks, because they have more consistent volume coming in every day, those trends during the day may be a little more predictable because they're not subject to that extreme hype and volatility that the lower float, lower price stocks are. Don't get me wrong, still going to follow those and trade those, but if you're getting killed by the price ranges in some of those lately, study some other opportunities. There's opportunities everywhere in the market. And if you can find something that's consistently trending or setting up in some kind of pattern, more consistent volume means more people are following it and more people see the same thing. Okay? So, take that into account. There's nothing wrong with trading higher price stocks if you can. So, that's my thinking. Either way, there is, I'm going to look at CEI. That's a very low float, low price stock, and we'll make some notes on that also. And I might have to start talking fast because I think the video time is only 15 minutes on these. Alright, so we're just going to get into it. So VRX is one that has been putting in some good daily ranges during the day. And it's, it all comes down to, it's a matter of identifying the trends and identifying opportunities that are happening within those trends. You see VRX is kind of stuck in this range right here, and it's making, there you can see this kind of crappy head and shoulders that came through on the break, but you really have to be paying attention to these. But it's at its upper part of its range, and if there's weakness coming on Monday, this might give up some room to the downside, back to the support area here. But again, I'm watching these, and we'll see what's going to happen. So these are just stocks that I'm just taking general note of because of recent news. VRX is one of them. Another one is NTNX that Goldman Sachs noted as it being a once-in-a-decade opportunity. And this is Goldman Sachs saying this. Okay, this is a major player, and you have this. On that news, a big gap up, and you have this doji star sort of thing. So it's, it ended, the Bulls didn't win, Bears didn't win per the day. Yeah, it was up a lot, but where it's going to go on Monday might be anybody's guess. So you can see that it shot up, this big gap up overnight on the news, and you see this a lot in the larger price stocks. So it has either on earnings or some kind of good news. They put in this big move, and that's huge for a larger cap stock and price stock, and they tend to fade on open. But you see here, it came back down to this support, up, up, up. Well, this was the last try right here, maybe, and it held that area during the day, and you can see this double top during pre-market, same price level during the day, and faded back down to close at this fib number. A little bit of movement afterwards, but this is going to be, we're going to see, I'm going to be keeping my eye on this. This might open quick to the upside based on where it finished. So this might be, what I like to do. I like to see the trend develop during the day and then take the moves from there. But this definitely has some good news. And this does have a lot of room to run. This was, I'm going to go back in time a little bit here. Okay, I forgot, this is a newer stock. I think this went public in 2016, so it has some room to run on good news. But keep an eye on the major indices on these also. Markets having a good day, these might be having a good day also. Alright, HTZ has been on fire. Getting kind of overbought here. They had some news with Alphabet or Apple, I believe, at some point, and that's good PR. A lot of good volume coming in here. All right, but looking at this, this has been on a pretty good tear lately. But again, it's been putting in some very good moves during the day. And again, if you can, if you take the time to study these charts, study patterns that are setting up, they put in some very good ranges. The other day it was a beast. It went from 13 to 15, almost $2.50. Okay, very consistent, depending on what indicators you use. Yes, I do use indicators, but I use them a little bit differently as far as entries go. You had multiple chances to get in on this stock. All right, and even so, when they make these price extremes, these are shortable. Okay, there are going to be shares to short, and you might not be able to take 3,000 shares at a top or something, but you can take a few hundred just to test the waters. Okay, there's nothing wrong with doing that because everything's going to come back down to earth. So, but again, this is way overbought. It has a pretty decent move, and it's going to be interesting to see how this eventually plays out. Next thing, CARA. CARA moves very well during the day. Also, it's a crazy stock. All right, and it's recently got a lot of attention. So it's one of the cannabis healthcare stocks. So there's volatility right there on a larger price stock. It's got earnings coming up in a week or so. But again, during the day, if you're a trend follower, if you're a swing trader, sorry about all the scrolling, during the day, and you understand where support and resistance happens and what to look for at support when volume starts coming in, 13.2, that's $1. All right, in about an hour. So even though it's a $13 stock, it can still move very well. It's all a matter of paying attention to the trend and having the patience. All right, you can always set alerts. You don't have to stare at the chart all day. As usual, you can set alerts at price level or indicator actions depending on what you follow. But this is one. It's an ugly chart, but it's getting, this gets consistent 2 million share volume during the day. Recently, it's got a lot more. Okay, it's hanging around this $14 area as support. And this is a big area of congestion, as you see in here, so you might see volatility increase, which is good. All right, so this is one I'll be keeping an eye on also. CENX, I believe, is banging against breakout level resistance. How much time? 9 minutes or so. And this is one to keep an eye on. Let me see if I can go back here. Yeah, so we are back here at 2015 or so, and this stock definitely has room to run because it's at this breakout area, and you see there's a lot of green volume buying. There's a lot of updates in this stock. I'll go back a little more. So, and this stock you see where it's been. Who knows what happened here? Really don't care. But again, this is another one during the day. All right, yeah, it's $16. But on the updates at support areas, you can, if you follow the trend and you want to swing the trend during the day, these stocks give up some very good ranges. And again, they're mostly shortable during the day also, a few hundred shares. So we'll see how this one plays out. But again, it's at this congestion area, and it's a little overbought. I don't have any indicators on here, but we'll be watching this for potential breakout. Now, what I like to do is, some people, let's go back here. Nothing wrong with it. All depends on what you want to look for. Is 1726. Well, you don't want to buy until it breaks that. Okay, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. But you can also try to get in on these swings back up to that area, so you're already in for the breakout. Okay, this was a little bit below it, but when you're at a support area and if things are perking up towards that breakout area, it's cool to get in below the breakout. If it does, the massive volume comes in, but hey, you're already in there, so you can try for the swing up, because a lot of times you'll get a lot of fake outs at those areas, at these breakout areas, these attempts to go through and bang, 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 come back down. Alright, so maybe look for this to come back down to this fib area 16 or whatever, or if it opens, if the gap opens for some reason, I like to look for the move back down, then swing it back up. So this is one to keep an eye on during the day. The last one is the low float, low priced CEI, which has an interesting daily chart pattern coming up, or recently. You see this big influx of volume at this bottom here, and these might just be bottom pickers trying to push this thing back up. Back in the day, this was a $400 stock. It's oil related. This was this was 10 years ago, so I'm not looking for that to come back anytime soon. I do have a position in this stock. I'm not trying to pump it, but I have a small, I think I got it at 32 or something, and it's only because 32 cents, and it's only because this was going on. This is the daily chart. Okay, you have this big pump of volume, and it's holding its price levels. All right, so, but what looks good to me is it's knocking on the door here at this 34, 35 area, and if this goes, this 42 might be in play. But what kind of looked interesting, I think I have to go to 30-minute, is after hours on Friday. Let's see, volume 5,600, 20. It put in about 100,000 shares of volume after hours on, this was Friday, for whatever reason. And so it's going to be interesting to see how this opens up tomorrow morning. But again, what got my eye is this big chunk of volume that's coming in on this bottom, and it's small position, nothing crazy, just to hold it to see where it goes. If this drops 10 cents, I basically lose $70. All right, no big deal. So I'm just holding this to see how this is going to react to this breakout area. And when these things approach $1, that's a lot to ask for. That's when the volatility really picks up, when they start approaching these. But either way, so that's what we're looking at. For next week, will always be on my watch list, and yes, there's going to be other stuff that pops up pre-market. So these are going to be my go-to stocks for the week, and we'll see how that all plays out. So going to be starting a YouTube channel pretty soon for watch lists, and do some weekly trade reviews, because those might be a little bit longer and they can't go on here if they're after 15 minutes or over 15 minutes. So we'll see how this plays out. All right, trade smart, you guys.